Alright fam, it's John here again. Basically what we're going to do here is we're going to get ready for SEMA this year. We weren't planning on going at all, like not even taking a trip down there. But you know, there's a couple things that have come up and we got in the works. And so basically we're going to make kind of a mad dash last minute trip down to SEMA. I invited Ray along. I'm not going to do a lot of videoing down there while I'm there. We got some meetings set up and a few other things going that will hopefully help out the YouTube channel, help out the business, and you know, see what we can do. So I'll get back with you after we get back from SEMA, and we'll put together a little video. It'll probably be a week or two. No videos just because we got a lot going on right now, and YouTube's definitely not our only thing, and it will be better for the YouTube channel in the end. But when I get back from SEMA, I will let you know and let you know how everything went and kind of give you an update about how everything's going. All right, guys, we're here at SEMA 2025. We're at Tesche Tires. We've had a bunch of meetings. We're here at their booth. They got an amazing booth here. It is great stuff. We got to look at their tires. We've talked to everybody about everything, and they are really, really good people. They got a nice setup here. We're really excited to try and partner with them and see what we can make happen with Tesh. And, you know, we look forward to a long partnership. But what they got here is they have some passenger car tires. We're going to look into them. And we built some two-wheel drive stuff, so we might as well. A couple different styles of passenger car tires. They got some slicks, racing tires, and we're going to look at them some more. 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐜𝐫𝐢 and slicks and drain tires, which is really exciting stuff. They got a really neat Porsche here. Of course, it's got the 427 LS in it. It's pretty neat. Be a fast little car. It'll be awesome. It is awesome. Can't beat that. I think Elliot will love it. Got a big old wing on it. So that's for the car tires and the racing stuff, which is cool. We'll look at it, see if we can find a use for it. Like, we'll find somewhere to put it and something to do with it, because it's good stuff. They got a really neat Bronco here at Tesh booth. They're wearing the XRT tires, and we have not put them on anything. They said they've been on here for a year, and it is they got good wear. They were talking like they're a 50,000 mile or maybe 50,000 kilometer. We'll see. 50,000 mile. There's a warranty, like a mileage on them, and they're really good. Like, they look really nice. I think we're gonna find some stuff to put them on here coming in the future on some projects. We're still working on that. Ray's over here talking, and Tesh has been amazing. They're gracious people and amazing guys to talk to. We got the XMTs, everybody's familiar with them. We got them on the S10 off-road truck, and we love them. They're awesome tires. They're great tires. We're gonna put them on some more stuff coming up. We got the XRTs, and they are really nice looking tires. We haven't got them on anything. They're kind of an in-between tire between the XRT and the XT Pro. We'll see. I don't know. I really like the XT Pros, and I'll show you what they are. So these are the XT Pros, and what's really impressive about them is they got a lot of grooving and siping. They got a really nice pattern on them that's like an all-terrain tire. They got some really nice side lugs, and I'm really impressed with them. They said they got some different tire compounds too, so if we need a softer compound, we can make that happen. And we don't do a lot of rock crawling, so I don't know. We'll see. But I'm really excited about the XT Pros, and we're going to see what we can do with them. I'm going to have them on everything, I think, because they're awesome tires, and I like them. So we'll do that. So figured I'd give you guys an update here at the Tesche Tires booth in SEMA 2025. So check them out. We're going to figure out, whether or not we can sell them, and we like to sell them. So we're going to put them on our stuff. I recommend everybody check them out and buy them because they're awesome. Like, they're nice tires. We're running the XMTs down at 10 PSI with non-beadlock wheels. Haven't had a problem. Great tires. I think with beadlocks, I'd run them down 6 or 7. But, we may move that in the future here on the S10. But we'll see. So, I guess for 2025 SEMA at Tesche Tires, thanks for watching. All right, fam. It's been for you a few minutes. For me, it's been a week. As you can see, we had a ton of fun down at SEMA. Ray did really well crutching around. He was on a scooter most of the time. He doesn't like pictures of it. Doesn't want any documentation. He was ever on a scooter. But he was. They got scootered around. So everything was good. It was a good time at SEMA. We had made a lot of connections, met a lot of people, seen a lot of really awesome cars. The shows were amazing. We didn't get up to catch up with Robby Layton in person. We didn't get to watch him run the truck. The truck was flawless, ran good, drove nice. Sounded amazing. Blueprint Engines did really good on that one. Robby did amazing on the build, so hats off to him for that. 3 weeks total build time. It was 4 weeks from the day I sold it to him to the start of SEMA. So you couldn't really ask for any more than that. The other thing we did while we were down there is we met up with Tesche Tires, and Will Wang with Tesche Tires and the other people at the booth there. They had an amazing booth down at SEMA this year. Had a couple cool cars in there, as you can see, and we talked about working together a little bit more than we have been. I'm really excited about it. I think Tesche Tires makes a really good product, and I like it. I think it works good. We have them on the S10, and we wanted to do something a little more for the guys at Tesh and Will that we had. I realized we hadn't really showcased their tires, but we hadn't really talked to them yet and see how it worked. You know, after talking to them, they are good people and they are a good company, and that's kind of one of the most more important things when we go to look at, you know, partner with someone or working together more than what we were, is to make sure that, you know, they align with us and we align with them, and we have common goals, and everything's going to work. And so after our meeting, I was excited. I think they're excited. We did a little bit of an advertisement talking at SEMA. It's probably going to be an Instagram post. We'll see when they release it, and we're going to definitely share it on our stuff too. You guys got to see my filming at Tesh, and you know, basically it's roughly the same thing, but it's good stuff. We're going to, I think, do some more things together. I'd really like for them to be, you know, the tire of all of our stuff, our recovery stuff. You know, the tire for the YouTube channel. I kind of believe that strongly in them, and I'm excited for that for the future. So that brings us to today. It's the day after I flew back from SEMA, Sunday the 9th, I guess is what it is. I don't know, it's been a long week. Got some good rest last night in my own bed, which is really nice. And what I want to do here is we're going to just go scout out a recovery. And it's one that I've tried to scout out before, and I couldn't find it. And then we got some GPS coordinates on it, and I know where it is now. And so we're going to head out there, and we're going to look at this thing, and we're going to kind of walk you through what a recovery takes, and we'll kind of go through the process of, you know, best case scenario. You know, this is an abandoned vehicle. It's out on Rock Springs Grazing's land. I've got permission from Rock Springs Grazing to go in after it. It's been there for a handful of years, so we're going to go out there, and it's going to be our first look together, and we'll make a plan on how to get it out of there, and what kind of equipment we're going to need, you know, what we want to do. So I'll bring you back in when there's something good to see, or we get a little closer. All right, fam, we got about 22 and a half miles south of town here. There was a road, had a gate on it, and so we took the gate, and now we're taking the road, and my Onyx is telling me this is where we need to go, so we're gonna head this way. It's been a long time since I've been out the bottom side of this. Usually I hang out on the top side quite a bit more, and so I don't remember if I've ever been out this road, so we're gonna see. We're going through this ravine right here is the reason why there's not a lot of roads around here, and it's definitely not one you want to take when it's muddy, but it is currently not muddy, and pretty much hunting season's over in this area, so there shouldn't be too much, but there's been some tracks on this road, so it's at least kind of traveled a little bit. There's not much for cell phone service in a lot of these places either, so be aware and be prepared. Sometimes you may have to hike to get cell phone service. What you run into out here is you get culverts, and I'll get out and show you what the deal is here. But you get culverts, and then they corrode, or they fail, and you end up with holes. They're like this. See, the culvert's rusted out in there, and we're in the middle of the road here, as you can see. Now it looks good there, but it's rusted out here, and it looks good-ish over there. So you got to pay attention, because some of these holes, they'll swallow a tire and tear your suspension all to hell. So it's good to keep aware of that, especially on these roads that are less traveled. Well, we're about 5 miles into this so far off-road, and we come down here into an old ranch that hasn't been used for quite a while. There's some evidence of small buildings, and about any of the trees around here because people planted them. Maybe some of the viewers from the area can name this place and tell me what it is. I remember seeing it a long time ago, but I don't remember what it was called or what it was. So I don't know. It's really neat. Maybe we'll look around here for a second. It definitely was an old homestead at one point in time. It has a spring right here. It looks like people have camped and people are pigs because they left their beer bottles around here and stuff like that. But it does have an old spring right here. Definitely dirty, but it is flowing. If it was cleaned up, it'd be really nice. Looks like there's more water down there as well. Ponded up. But there is some old rock buildings around here. And one of them looked like it was pretty good size. This is smaller than the other one. It was plastered at one time too. Huh, really cool. I remember this place. It was probably 15 years ago I was down in here. But I'll have to ask the ranger what the story is on this place. I'm pretty sure this is on BLM ground. I'll check my Onyx to be sure. But yeah, it's really neat. It'd be a great place to camp. Real hit out. It's a ways in. There's the remnants of that old other brick rock building. It's stacked rocks. Doesn't look like they're bonded together, so not sure exactly what it was originally, but we're gonna take this other road here and we're getting close, so we'll be back here in a minute. Well, we're getting close. We took the last turn that we need to turn. Now we just need to follow this valley up in here. It's definitely a road that's less traveled, and I'll show you guys here in a second. But hopefully the car hasn't, or the vehicle hasn't been tore all up, and we can get it out of there fairly easily, so it's not a big pain in the butt. But I'll show you what it looks like. So I assure you there is a road here, and it's just what's left of a two-track road. These trails in Wyoming get overgrown. They just don't get traffic on them, and basically they just overgrow and disappear into the history books. But there's still enough of a road here that we can get up in here. But there's just not a lot of people that travel this stuff, you know, especially on these remote, weird kind of areas. Years ago, this was a little better road, like 15 years ago when I was in here. Not a whole lot better, but it was a better road. So we're gonna see. I assume they got in here, got stuck, or a flat tire or something, and couldn't get it out, or couldn't find it again or something. Yeah, basically we're just gonna follow this all the way up to the mouth of the canyon. I think that's where this vehicle is, and then we'll get some video of it, so that way we can figure out what we need to bring up in here to fix it, or like to get it back out. I think we're gonna try and make it roll and pull it out on a rope. That seems to be the best thing to do. We'll use the S10 and then have the Tacoma for support up in here. It is a little narrow. It's not horrible. I might be able to get the Dodge up in here. But no sense in beating up the Dodge unless I have to. If it's to the point where I gotta try and pack it, then we'll bring the Dodge up in here, or try to, and that'll be more work, but I'd rather not. All right. As we come up on it, it's right here, and it is a Ford Explorer. All right, guys, we're in a beautiful area here. There's a handful of springs that run down here. That's why we get the trees and the willows and that sort of stuff. And so there's water. It's kind of all over this little valley here. Comes out of the mountains up here. And then there's trees that grow. And it's late fall for us. It's November. So there's no leaves on any of the trees. I'm not sure how many of these are actually really still alive. But there's a little off-road trail that goes over that way that's not been used in years. Let's see what we can see over here. Look at that. There's ice on the water. So it's been getting cold at night here. It's definitely been getting into the 20s. And so there's ice on the water. The one good part about ice means the ground's frozen, which helps us a bunch. I'd rather it be frozen than muddy, at least. It's a really neat area, though. We'll go over here and look at this Explorer and form a game plan. All right, looks like they got it high centered, would be my guess. It's got Washington plates on it. It's been here a minute. This isn't what I remembered, I don't think. Of course, it's been shot once. Steering's locked. Had to bring enough stuff to handle that. Stereo's still in it. Of course, people knock the windows out because that's what people do. It's not horribly dirty. You can tell the tires were spinning a little bit because they were stuck right here. Looks like 2014 was the last time it was licensed. My guess is, yeah, it was probably 11 years ago, so it might, I'm pretty sure I saw this thing up in here, but it was, looks like 11 years ago was the last time it was licensed. I'm happy that people haven't tore it up worse than it is. There's a tire over here in the ditch and some garbage on the ground here. But it's not bad. It's not nearly as bad as I always anticipate. The tires are definitely flat, but it's not in horrible shape. If I drill the ignition, I can get it out of gear and get it to steer. And I guess if we pull it up here, we can turn it around and then head back out. Coming out the top side is a little tough because it's kind of a steep drop. It's, you know, this stuff behind me up the canyon there. So I'd say the bottom side is going to be better going out. Let me see if it's got brakes. If there is brakes, there's probably not a lot of brakes. But I guess that's all right too. Everything's complete. Looks like the master cylinder cap's off and it's fairly dry. Looks like somebody stole all the caps for some reason, I guess to have stuff. Still got a battery in it. Looks like something's been living over there. But yeah, so still the radiator cap, the power steering cap, the oil fill cap, the brake reservoir cap. We may bring some brake fluid as well, and 4 tires and wheels, a jack, a drill, some drill bits. See about drilling it out. It's actually not in bad shape considering it's been up here for 11 years. But it's a beautiful area. I mean, you look around me, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't try and get this out of here. It's on Rock Springs Grazing's ground, and they gave us permission to be up in here and do this. You know, they don't want it on their ground any more than we want it on their ground. But it's a beautiful area. It'd be a great place to come up and picnic. Off-road, you know, there's some good off-roading that kind of goes up through here or over, you know, that way. And it's a really nice area, and this is just kind of an eyesore in this whole deal. I don't want it turning into more you know, mess. That's why we don't release the videos till we get them pulled out, because I don't want people coming in and exploring, and there's always a few that tear stuff up, which is not good. So yeah, we're gonna get a list of stuff. I'm gonna take some pictures and get an idea of all the stuff we're gonna need, and then we'll gather it up and come in here in the future here, probably in the near future. So I guess we've scouted it, we figured it out. So yeah, we're gonna get a list of stuff going. We're gonna take some pictures of it, gather up equipment, tools, everything else, because it's about 6 miles up in here, and we're gonna need enough stuff to get it out. So we'll get all that gathered up, and come up in here in the near future, and you guys will have another video for that. So I'm going to get to that, and until the next video, thanks for watching.